another episode of 1923 Main Street.
Home of everything to do with Disney travel in style. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Braddock. And today, how to dress and what to wear for Walt Disney World in September.
Yes, if you're heading to Walt Disney World this September right now, what should you pack? What should you wear? What's the weather going to be like? Let's get into all of that so that we can give you a little guidance if it's your first September in particular. Now, I'd like to start by saying one thing. A lot of times people say, when's the best time to go to Walt Disney World? And you'd often say, well, best based on what, right? Weather, crowds, and all that sort of stuff. Normally, if you could go any time of the year, September would be the best month.
It's a pretty good month to go.
You know, kids are back in school. Weather is usually good. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, it's still warm-ish, but typically the rain starts to ease up slightly. Slightly being the key word.
Yeah, so, let's jump right into that because what we like to do on these episodes is talk about generally what it's like at this time of year. When it comes to what to pack and what to wear, September 2024 is a little bit different than the average September. And you can look at that in a good way or a not so good way because we are expecting in Orlando, according to forecasts, a much warmer September than is normal.
Which is nice. Yay! Unless you like the cold. I mean, it depends. Well, it does look pretty much like August weather, which some people can find very nice. The forecast says that it's ranging from 86 to 95 in the day and then more like 73 to 79 at night. However, these temperatures don't include humidity, which if you've ever stepped foot in the great land that is Florida, is alive and well.
Yeah, this is not normal. I mean, this is really, we're almost saying go back to our last month's what to wear in August because it's almost the same forecast for September. So that's sort of unfortunate in a way. Unless you really love the superheat, well, then you're going to be happy because it's going to be hot, essentially. A hot September.
It's not breaking 100 as of right now, which is great.
Unfortunately, there's a flip side to it.
Well, yeah, the forecast also includes rain on 15 out of 30 days. However, I would say if it only actually rains on 15 of 30 days, that's a win.
Yeah, I mean, normally it's not as rainy, but, as we often discuss it, listen, this is Florida. This is Orlando in hurricane season, which is still a factor. One thing I will say is it's not looking like any sort of complete washout. The worst week right now, and things can change, remember, we always recommend check the forecast the day before you go, right? But right now, the worst week where it looks like there's some rain almost every day is the week of September 15th, the middle of the month. But, fingers crossed, as we always do when we travel to Orlando, oh, please change or please don't change, depending on what the forecast is. Anyway, bottom line is expect hot, sticky, potentially wet weather. So what should you pack and what should you wear? And there's a couple of other factors. It's not just the weather in this month of September. There's a couple of good things going on that you may want to consider when you're packing.
Yes, Walt Disney World in September is a very exciting place because according to Disney, it is full on fall. They have their fall vibes ready. All of the Starbucks drinks that have been pumping up for the month, Disney is on top of that.
Yeah, but fall isn't really until September 21st.
Don't tell that to the Disney executives. They don't care. Everywhere fall and specifically Halloween is very much full swing in September. So if you're going, why not lean into that a little bit, especially if you're going, later in September when it may start to be getting a little bit cooler back home.
And especially if Magic Kingdom Park is, that's Halloween Central at Walt Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not the only thing going on. It's also the big first month of the Food and Wine Festival over at EPCOT. Back to the, during COVID, they sort of moved it into the summer. Now it just started at the very end of August. So now it's back to how it used to be, food and wine. September and through the fall.
That's nice. Epcot feels very odd when they're without a festival. It doesn't just feel right.
So here's my question to Amelia and any of those of you listening who are like Amelia. And what I'm talking about is, so I'm talking about, we know the weather. It's going to be hot, humid, a little bit of rain. It's basically summer weather in September. Now, we also have a couple of festivals. For me, I don't really pack for outfits. I may wear a shirt that I could wear to the Food and Wine Festival or a shirt that I can wear to Halloween, but I don't bring any special clothes. So for me, I'm going to pack like we talked, quick dry things, lightweight. I don't think the light colors matter as much in September because it's going to be cloudy a bit and some rain, so you don't have to worry about, you can bring some dark colored shirts maybe. But if you're someone who cares about your outfits and you want to style for Halloween or you want to style for Food and Wine or both, how do you, Amelia, balance that with lightweight clothes or packing for weather? Is there one thing that trumps the other? Would you pack for style over comfort and weather, or weather over comfort and style? Or is there a balance you can strike?
Well, I'll just say on the first day of September, it was probably 80-something degrees, and I wore a black turtleneck and Uggs. So I think that kind of puts my perspective. I'm more of a style person. Personally, I will usually go for the style. However, there's obviously a balance. There's obviously things you can do, with Food and Wine Festival specifically. There's lots of outfits. There's lots of little dresses that have cute wine-related sayings or wine-related designs on them.
Food. It's funny, you jump right to the wine when you actually care more about the food.
I do care more about the food. This is true.
And totally about the food since you are not 21.
Yeah, but typically the style, more of the shirts and outfits that you see are more related to the wine.
Yeah, or drinking.
Yeah.
In general.
And, how many shirts
they call it Food and Wine, but there's plenty of other drinks too, cocktails and beer there.
Yeah.
It's all merging.
Well, my point, especially if you wanted to go, that's more the obvious route. Something more understated depends on if you have a specific drink or wine that you want. You could almost try and find a dress that matches that color, like a deep red for a red wine or something lighter for a champagne or a rosé, or a little bit of yellow for white wine. That would be cute if you want to do something that's a little bit nice for your photos, but not walk around in a dress with wine bottles all over it, although there are plenty of those. If that's more your cup of tea. Or me personally, Halloween.
Yeah, let me ask you about Halloween, because what I want to know is if you're thinking, and we've done Halloween a lot. In fact, we do it in August. So you can actually speak to this, because we're typically at the Halloween party and things in August. We don't go in September that often. We have gone, and it hasn't been a September like this. But do you plan more for the hot, humid, potentially wet, or do you blow it off and focus more on the Halloween costume itself?
I usually costumes specifically.
Yeah, let's say you're going to the party. Let's break this into two things. You're going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, or you just want to be in the Halloween vibe.
Outside of the party, just pick a color palette and then you can do lots with that. If you're doing black and orange, you could have a lighter orange top that's light and then black shorts. And that's still Halloweeny and that's still nice. But you can, manipulate it with the weather and the rain and everything like that. Usually umbrellas are black. So that's Halloweeny, my friends, if it's raining too. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, it's a little bit different. Usually when we go, you kind of just have to assume it's going to rain. Remember one time it was completely storming beforehand and they were questionably prepared.
Luckily it did stop. And that's what I think we're planning for this September. So if you are listening and you have kids, bear in mind that it's going to be hot even at night and potentially humid, sweaty, and potentially rainy. So you may be able to handle more as an adult or teen with your costume, but if you have little ones, if they're in let's say a big furry Wookiee outfit or something, and it's hot and raining, you're not going to have a happy kid.
Yeah. I think the thin polyester suits might be okay. Just be aware of that and try not to put too much underneath.
They hold the heat.
If it's the Iron Man.
Although it'll be after dark.
Yeah, just be aware. Don't layer too much underneath. They'll be fine. They'll get hot. That will conserve the body heat. But just generally, I like to go with the costume based on.
And just stick it out for the night. So,
there's air conditioning inside.
Form over function, style over comfort for you for a Halloween party.
Just in general.
It is only a few hours if you can put up with it. So know yourself, know what I know you like photos and
or
memories.
I was going to say, at least take a good photo and then modify your outfit and no one will know.
All right. So there you have it. Quick and easy. A little bit different this year, September 2024. More of a summer feel, even though it's the beginning of fall this month. So bear that in mind with your packing. Check the forecast before you go. So on a local weather station, we always recommend. So you get a really good idea of what you're up against. Thanks as always for listening, everyone. Follow along on social media at 1923 Main Street. We'll see you again next week and have a magical day.
Bye-bye.